Welcome back. You're with us on the Newstrack. If you make a mistake, say sorry. Well, this is clearly a dictum that Rahul Gandhi hasn't learned, because his lawyers in the Supreme Court were asked by the judges to say sorry. Instead, they expressed regret. Led to a big argument between the judges and Abhishek Singhvi representing Rahul Gandhi, whether regret was the same thing as an apology. Singhvi said, I've seen the dictionary, it is. The judges weren't impressed. Rahul Gandhi will have to say sorry a third time over. Here's the story.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियर कर दिया है कि चौकीदार जी ने चोरी करवाई.
After making one of the most controversial statements in the election campaign, Rahul Gandhi has piped down a few notches. The Congress chief on Tuesday apologized to the Supreme Court for attributing Chowkidar Chor slogan to the court. A formal apology will come in the form of an affidavit next week. Hearing the contempt plea filed by BJP MP Meenakshi Lekhi, Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi asked Rahul's counsel Abhishek Manu Singhvi why his client had put regret in brackets in his earlier affidavit. Singhvi admitted there were errors in the affidavit which he regretted. The CJI kept the heat on, asking Singhvi where was the statement of apology. To this, Singhvi said, regret is the same as apology. The court finally allowed Rahul to file a fresh affidavit.
Rahul Gandhi deeply regrets the attribution of Chowkidar Chor hai or suggestion that this slogan, these words were said or meant to be said by the Supreme Court. I have clarified in the affidavit itself that this was neither the remotest intention of Shri Rahul Gandhi, nor could he have so intended, because no court will adopt or endorse this slogan.
जो अपराधी है उसको सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए. हमारी तो उम्मीद यही है कोर्ट से, और ख़ास तौर पे पूरे देश के अंदर जो माहौल खड़ा किया गया है, जहाँ पे कोर्ट की अवमानना करना, कोर्ट के जो अधिकार है उसको नीचा दिखाने की कोशिश, उसकी इज्जत कम करने की कोशिश, उसको ख़त्म किया जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि किसी भी लोकतंत्र के लिए कोर्ट और संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का रहना बहुत आवश्यक है.
This is a battle purely of perception. The Supreme Court has asked Rahul Gandhi to explain and give a proper apology. The BJP, of course, claiming it as a win, saying that Rahul Gandhi, the Congress president, is irresponsible and has lied. The Congress, of course, hitting back, saying that it is the BJP which has been misleading the public about the Rafale deal. All in all, the Rafale deal back in public perception as a major political issue, while Rahul Gandhi has told the Supreme Court that he will file an affidavit with a proper apology. In New Delhi, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
3 times over, Congress President Rahul Gandhi is having to say sorry, and yet the Supreme Court is not satisfied. This whole business of using a comment made by the Supreme Court, adding to it, making the Supreme Court seem as if it said things that it didn't say on the Rafale deal, is really boomeranged very badly. Has this led to massive embarrassment for the Congress party and for its president? Joining us on this broadcast, Jaiveer Shirgil representing the Congress, Amit Malviya represents the BJP. You know, once you make a mistake and then you try and act over smart, you are caught out. You should just simply say sorry. Now you're putting things in brackets, you're not writing it very clearly. Singhvi says there are 3 errors on my part, I apologize. The judge asks, where have you said this in the affidavit? Then the Congress lawyer doesn't know what to say. You're just digging a big hole for yourself, jumping into it each time. You messed up, say sorry. Why is the Congress being so arrogant before the judges? Why can't Rahul Gandhi simply say sorry, I messed up?
Rahulji, Mr. Rahul Gandhi will satisfy the conscience of the court by adding the word apology to exhibit genuineness of his regret by dragging Supreme Court and linking Supreme Court to a political slogan. Yes, you are absolutely right, and I cannot shy away from the fact Supreme Court was not satisfied with the wording of the affidavit, and hence we have sought time to rectify it. But on Monday, rest assured the court's conscience will be satisfied. Number 3, you raised a pertinent point. Has it boomeranged? 2 big developments happened in the court today. And for the sake of your viewers, as a responsible spokesperson, I want to reiterate, Mr. Rahul Gandhi stands firm on his allegation that Rafale deal stinks of corruption and Chowkidar Chor hai. That stand remains.
No, 1 second.
But
let's just see what happened in the court today. Jaiveer Shirgil, one second. First, for 1 second. First, we see Abhishek Manu
Yes, let me make one
trying
comment.
to be over smart with the judges.
Last comment
He
and I
says
will-
that
I will rest
one
my
second,
case.
sir. 1 second, sir. He says we've written regret. Justice Gogoi asks him, you know, does regret mean apology? Then he says, oh, I've checked the dictionary. Regret means apology. He's just not being able to have the humility to say sorry straight up. You know, you're trying to be over smart, be one up on the judges, try and show them the dictionary. This is just A, in the court, and B, in the public court, playing out really badly for Rahul Gandhi and for the Congress.
I am glad you brought out the court and the public court, and I will answer your question also specifically. And I was coming to the court and public court. On one hand, today Mr. Rahul Gandhi displayed no hesitancy in admitting his mistake before the court, and on the other hand, BJP displayed extreme hesitancy for the case to be heard on merits. On one hand, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has admitted a mistake in the court, but BJP is running away from the hearing in the court, and Prime Minister is running away from a debate on the topic with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. If it is boomerang, if we are on the back foot, then Narendra Modi should accept our challenge and prove Chowkidar Chor nahi hai. So you have a situation, you don't want a JPC investigation,
No,
you
1
want
second.
Rafale matter
That's
to
not
be
the
heard
matter
after
before
the
us.
election.
1 second.
You seek 4 weeks, but the court wraps you and gives you 4 days, and that is it. And to your last comment, which I must clarify, you said over smart. To err is human, to accept mistake is honesty, and if the court is not specified with a particular dictionary word, we have no shame to admit, we will better the word with an apology. But will Mr. Rahul Gandhi's contempt petition give a clean chit to the Bharatiya Janata Party on Rafale corruption? No.
Okay.
What happens on
So
Monday?
now
Mr. Rahul
you're
Gandhi goes to
citing
jail,
the other
or
case,
Mr. Rahul Gandhi does
which
not
is
go
the
to
case
jail.
on
Does
Rafale.
that change the fate of Rafale deal?
No, where the government said today, Amit Malviya, that you're not ready, you sought more time. Now, what is this business of not being ready? Rahul Gandhi says if the new documents that are being submitted by the petitioners leave nothing to hide for the government, what are you scared of? Why are you seeking more time? You should say, Abhi karo sir, we are ready, let's have the hearing. Why were you seeking so much more time? Why were you trying to push it beyond the elections? What were you worried the courts may say, which may be embarrassing for you? Amit Malviya.
Rahul, you know, there are 2 issues that we need to discuss here. One, obviously, the Congress wants to push under the carpet. That is of Rahul Gandhi being forced to provide an unconditional apology to the Supreme Court for attributing to Supreme Court words that they did not mention at all. I'm glad the Congress spokesperson admitted that it was a political slogan and Rahul Gandhi should not have attributed that to the Supreme Court. Now, 2 things become very clear. One, that Rahul Gandhi is a congenital liar and he continues to lie on issues not just Rafale but everything else. The second important point is that politically the issue is dead. Rahul Gandhi is flogging a dead horse and he's now having to face the heat of the Supreme Court for something as mundane as this. The other point on the Rafale, which apparently the Congress spokesperson alluded to and you're asking me about, the fact is that the Rafale case has been heard in great detail by the Supreme Court. They have come out and very categorically said that they found no wrongdoing, whether in terms of process, price or the offset that were given. There are new evidences that have been put, apparently. That's what the 3 applicants who have gone to the court seem to suggest. The Supreme Court has admitted it and merely said that they would listen to it. Now, these documents that have been brought to the court and are being claimed as new documents, in all probability have already been presented to the court. I can't say it with any kind of certainty because nobody's seen those documents. They have been sent in a closed envelope. But the only matter or the only point to debate was that should documents that have been procured through malified means be admissible in the court, and the Supreme Court has said that yes, that they would be admissible. Supreme Court has made no opinion or given any comment on the validity of the document or the fact that these are new documents or they will add another dimension to the case. That is the reality of the matter.
No, but why were you seeking more time? Why weren't you ready for the hearing? Why is the government saying that we don't want to hear this now, we'll hear this later?
Well, you know, there are certain documents and there are certain procedural formalities that have to be fulfilled. The government's counsel would be better placed to tell you about the administrative reasons why they have sought postponement or some more time, as the case may be. But I'm telling you the factual position as it stands. I've explained to you what's happened already on the Rafale. It's a dead issue except in Rahul Gandhi's mind, and now he's flipped over him all over and he's gone into the contempt crosshairs of the Supreme Court. Good luck to him. He probably needs to refer to the dictionary more often. Regret is not the same as unconditional apology, which is what should be coming forth from Rahul Gandhi and Abhishek.
No, but at some level, Jaivir Shergill, it's very clear that the apology is not genuine. It's something that's being forced upon Rahul Gandhi, which is why Abhishek Singhvi and the others in the Congress who are drafting that affidavit are trying to run around the circle. If you were genuine, you would say, we genuinely, unconditionally apologize. You are saying regret. You are trying to play with words. You are saying, okay, let's do the minimum we need to. Let's not do this very seriously, because our apology is not very serious. Because if it were, then Rahul Gandhi would not misconstrue what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court never said that Chowkidar Chor hai. It only agreed to hear some additional documents. Because Rahul Gandhi had been flogging that again and again, he completely misrepresented what the court said. And that your apology is not genuine, which is why the courts are so upset with you. Jaivir Shergill.
Rahul ji, taking your question forward, and my good friend Amit said the Rafale issue is politically dead. If Rafale issue has politically dead, then BJP should prove it is legally dead also by agreeing to a hearing and by agreeing to a JPC investigation and by agreeing to debating with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Hiding behind Mr. Rahul Gandhi's affidavit will not give them a clean chit in Rafale, no matter how hard they try. Number two, bringing back to your point, I have the transcript of your channel India Today. Here is one leader, whatever terminology he used to satisfy the conscience of the court, is owning up to a mistake. That is the bottom line. You have on your channel on 18 December 2018, the law minister says Supreme Court has given Rafale a clean chit. Your anchor has to correct him. There is no clean chit. Supreme Court has merely refused to entertain the petition. Mr. Narendra Modi on 16th April says, after the review petition is admitted, Supreme Court has given me a clean chit when there is none. So if anybody today is guilty of misleading the people by quoting and misquoting the Supreme Court order, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, Amit Malviya, respond to this, that the BJP leadership has been saying that Supreme Court gave them a clean chit on Rafale. The Supreme Court on procedural and technical grounds refused to hear the petition. It's not as if the Supreme Court went through the bona fides of the case and came to the conclusion that the case is clean.
You know, Rahul, I don't know how the Congress interprets legal documents, but for anybody else who reads them and understands them will tell you that the Supreme Court is very categorical, that they've looked at all documents and have found no wrongdoing on several parameters. Now, if the Congress wants to continue with the issue till perhaps 17th of May, they are well entitled to do that, but the people of this country have rejected Rahul Gandhi's bogus theory. And I find it quite laughable that the Congress spokesperson wants to throw their Congress president under the bus by offering him for a debate on issues such as corruption. The man who's currently out on bail in the National Herald corruption case, he and his mother and his brother-in-law, all of them are currently out on bail in various corruption cases, wants to debate corruption. You know, this essentially reeks of a sense of entitlement. It reeks of a sense of being infallible, and I don't think people of this country are ready to accept dynasts who believe that they can get away with anything. The truth of the matter today is that Rahul Gandhi, for all his position in the Congress party as the president, today is not taken seriously. He goes out, he lies on issues. Recently he's got rapped by several commentators for making an outrageous comment on the the Forest Amendment Act, which he said on the 23rd of April 2019. So he's somebody who just lies, who lies through his teeth, and people today are not even interested to see what he's saying. And he thinks that he's getting away with all of it. Rahul, the reality is that how often have you heard Rahul Gandhi back up his own convictions and continue with an issue beyond a point and take it to logical conclusion? The answer is no, and he's done that with none of the
final
issues that
words, Jaivir Shergill. You know, all tracking data suggests that Rafale isn't connecting with audiences, with voters. People don't know enough about it. You haven't been able to convince people that Prime Minister Modi is corrupt. They're simply not buying your charge. You keep leveling this at the Prime Minister. All tracking data suggests people aren't buying your story.
I am sorry, but a bigger omission has happened during your debate. India today has an entire research department dedicated to fact checking, and Mr. Amit Walia knows that nobody else. He on your show said, Supreme Court has said, we have looked at all documents and there is no wrongdoing. Let him produce the Supreme Court order which says that, or otherwise apologize on your show. He said that, you can repeat it. Supreme Court said we have looked at all the documents and there is no wrongdoing. You can repeat the video. Number two, this is what I am saying. Today the matter is in the realm of the court. If Mr. Rahul Gandhi is guilty of the contempt, he will face the consequences. But the truth of the matter is, Rafale deal stinks of corruption. Mr. Modi is running away in the court. He is running away in the political battlefield, and he is running away from
final words, Amit Malviya.
Because Bharatiya Janata Party
Quick
is not
concluding words.
They are investigation free.
You know, Rahul, I've said this repeatedly, and I'm saying this again, that the Rafale documents have been provided to the courts. The court has satisfied itself and has given a verdict which very clearly says that they find no wrongdoing in it. As far as documents that have been obtained through fraudulent means and their admissibility is concerned, the Supreme Court has merely said that they would be admissible. Now, Rahul Gandhi has to provide an unconditional apology to Supreme Court for attributing to them things that they have not said, not suggested. And by doing so, Rahul Gandhi would admit that he was flogging the Rafale issue. He was playing with India's national security purely for political reasons. Okay. He has no proof, no documents, and now he also has to apologize to the highest court of this
here's
country.
What I wish to
and
say
nothing
in
could
conclusion.
be more embarrassing than that.
There are two separate things at play. One, Rahul Gandhi misconstrued what the Supreme Court said, misrepresenting the judges to make it seem as if they said Chowkidar Chor hai when they clearly didn't. Once you make a mistake, as the judges said today, simply say sorry. Then don't try and find some cute way around it so the judges can be satisfied and you can move on. If you've apologized, then you apologize unconditionally. And secondly, why is the government seeking extra time? If you've done nothing wrong, there's nothing embarrassing, then why are you saying let's have this hearing after 4 weeks? Have the hearing immediately and let's see where those documents lead the Supreme Court. That's where I wrap up tonight. Amit Malviya, Jaivir Shirgil for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.